The Tower. 5. When we do not feel like sleeping, which happens many a time, I tell them stories, mostly spooky stories. I told them one a few nights back. I got down from my car, proceeded towards the elevator well in the tower. The tower consists of 2 elevator wells facing each other. We are the only residents in this tower, but the elevator cubicles were tirelessly waiting at ground zero for somebody to occupy their space. I feel very confused about which elevator to board. So I have made a principle of sorts. While descending, I will drive down the southern well, whereas on my way to the top, I will drive up the northern well. I board the northern cubicle, hungry and tired but happy to be back home. The doors of my elevator close, making an unpleasant sound, and I push the button for my floor. My eyes, by fleeting chance, fall on the opposite elevator with doors shut. It looks utterly glum and is melancholically illuminated by its fluorescent lamp. It's vacant and at rest, and I find in it a ball of smoke encircling like the ring of Saturn. As my elevator kickstarts and rushes upwards, I find the opposite elevator rushing upwards all of a sudden, almost at an equal speed. When we race past each other through the intervening floors, I can sight the other elevator momentarily through the glass panels of our respective doors. The emerging ball of smoke growing inside its somnolent chamber into something more concrete which I cannot readily grasp. As we leave the 6th floor behind, the ball of smoke was gone, and instead I found a man standing in a grotesque posture, looking vacantly at me. He hardly moved, his hungry gaze on me more intense with each passing floor. Once we had crossed the 10th floor, the other elevator accelerated and crossed mine, leaving me terror-struck, and suddenly I realized that this man almost looked like me. He was my body double, wore the same clothes, and carried the same bag and file of papers. It was this mesmerizing similarity that filled my soul with endless darkness. Was this man a heinous impostor? Was this man a terrorist? Would he harm my wife and children? At last, I reached the floor where I live, my chest thumping and heaving against my frail ribcage. My hands shook as I pressed the entrance bell. A few seconds later, our maid had opened the door. When she found me standing in front of the door, she instinctively turned around and rushed inside, calling for my wife. When she was turning, I had glimpsed the shock in her eyes. Surprisingly, I did not enter or make any move, as if I was waiting for approval of others to enter my own home. My wife came and the children followed. She came to the door. I saw a queer look in her eyes. The children looked awestruck. When she spoke, she sounded restrained and withdrawn. What a look-alike, unbelievable. Nobody can believe this. My dear man, don't harm us. My husband is back at home. He has gone to the washroom to take his bath. Tonight we will leave to see the mother of all rivers. As you would know, it is a long and a tedious journey. Spare us, my good man. If you need anything from us, I'm willing to give. If you want our home in this tower, you can have it. we will be leaving for good.